Welcome to Melody Bar. In this video we're going to look at how to change chords smoothly. It's one of the hardest things to do when you start playing guitar is changing chords. It's hard enough playing chords in the first place, but changing chords, I mean that's where some guitarists just drop off in the early stages. I'm going to show you 3 ways to totally transform your chord transitions and make them much smoother. Make sure you stay to the end as all 3 work together. I'm not going to go into the details of how to play these chords. I'm going to presume you have a little bit of chord knowledge already. I've got a video on the basics of playing chords that you can pick in the little link up there, and I've also got a chord series where I'm going through each individual chord, so please check them out. But for this video I'm going to presume you already know a bit about chords, so as I go through the chords I'm not going to go into the details of how to play them. However, I will put up the chord boxes to help you. First, let's talk about playing chords. To play a chord, you generally need to put your finger in multiple positions at the same time. So if you were to play a single note, that's a G note for example, it's just the one singular note. But a G chord, you have to play all of these together, and it's all of them notes together which create a chord. I will go deeper into the theory of chords in another video, but for now I'm just going to keep it very simple. Tip number 1, place your fingers down in the order you'll be strumming. For me, when it comes to playing chords, you want to put your fingers down onto the frets in the order you'll be playing the strings. Now I know that's quite a mouthful there, but let me explain. Normally when you strum downwards. That's not to say you can't strum up as well. However, most strumming patterns involve strumming down first. So let's just, for argument's sake, say you strum down when you play a chord. You want to put your fingers on the frets in the order you'll be strumming. So as you strum downwards, you catch the bottom string first. See, I go down with this finger first, the second finger, first finger, because then, see, this third finger, I don't have to get it on in time. I've got a little moment just to get it in there. Then with the C, there you go. If I put my fingers down from 1, 2, 3, I miss the beginning of the strum. So if I go 1, 2, 3, I missed. Okay, see? Oh. So if I get used to putting my fingers in this numerical order, you might miss the change of the chord. Try and train yourself to go in with whatever is the lowest number first. Tip number 2, anchor fingers. I'm going to now talk about anchor fingers. This may be the first time you're hearing the term anchor fingers, and there are other terms for it, pivot fingers. Let me explain what I'm talking about. If you look at the chords, there's a G, there's an E minor, there's an A minor, and there's a D7. Have a look at how I'm playing this. You may find that sometimes chords are linked together by certain notes, which means sometimes you can leave your finger in position and almost walk across the fretboard. Let me show you with this chord progression: G, E minor, A minor, D7. So you strum the G, then your first finger stays where it is for the E minor, your second finger stays where it is for the A minor, and your first finger stays where it is for the D7, and then your third finger just slides up 1 fret back to the G. When you have a chord sequence, look out for any similarities between the notes. Another example, A minor to C, you literally only have to move one finger. See the A minor? There it is in position. Now your first and second fingers stay where they are. Third finger. Boom. Look at that. Now this finger is sliding around a little bit on the fret, and if it jumps up a little bit as well, that's fine, but all I'm trying to do is get you used to seeing patterns within the chords. By putting your fingers down in the order you're strumming and looking for anchor fingers, it means you can jump around the chords much quicker. Tip number 3. Stay in time while changing chords. Now I'm going to talk about strumming rhythm while changing chords. Okay, this is quite important. When starting out with guitar, it's very, very common that you want to get the chords perfect. And I understand because I hear it so many times. It sounds bad. Why does it not sound like when you do it? Well, that's because practice. I mean, that's the key thing that every guitar teacher will say. How do I get better? You practice. But I want to get better. You practice. This is one thing you can practice. I have a video on strumming patterns, so please check that out. I'm just going to go very basic on it now and explain trying to change chords smoothly using this technique. We'll go back to our G, E minor, A minor, D7 pattern. So I'm going to do a simple down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. When you're starting out, you might not be able to change chords quick enough, so you may end up with a situation like this. I'm going to go against convention now and say it doesn't matter if you make mistakes on the chords. Hear me out. The strumming hand is probably more important than the fretting hand. I'm going to do that same pattern while not playing with my right hand. You ready? This is what it sounds like. To get my point, it's the right hand that makes all the sound. Watch. If I play and make sure I stick to the rhythm, you can actually get away with making mistakes in the fretting hand. Watch this. It still sounds quite smooth because the rhythm doesn't stop. When changing chords, if you need to search for how to get the right chord, try to keep that strumming hand going. So let's recap what we've got here. When you place your fingers on the chord, start from the lowest point to the highest point in the direction that you will be strumming. Check for any anchor fingers that tie the chords together. And even if you can't find the chords in time, don't stop the rhythm. Now, if you're feeling extra confident, go for a more complicated rhythm. Please take the time to check out Melody Bar's other videos, and I'd be very appreciative if you would subscribe and like and share this video. It would mean so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Melody Bar, music for everyone.